Sometimes we do not get to pick out our clients. They will not always give us really cool, fashionable brands to work on. Sometimes they are simple companies with a simple objective. I thought we would work on a logo for a simple local plumbing company to get a feel for those early projects you may receive, and to also try to make a somewhat simple company look fantastic. So I'm here in Adobe Illustrator right now, and we have a name for our company called Pike's Plumbing. Very simple. And what I like to do is go ahead and copy and paste that company name, and we could just begin the concepting process. So I'm thinking, okay, there's two P's. I wonder if we can start to play with the two P's here. So I like to go ahead and break up my words. So now I have two separate words. And let's play with the P a little bit. Let's find a good bold font. So I'm just going to go up to character, I'm going to go up to this menu, just going to do in all caps, and let's find a different font. So a font that I like to use is Open Sans. Firstly, because you don't have to purchase the rights. It's an open font. You're free to use it, no copyrights. So that's also nice. So I'm going to check some different weights and see what I think might look nice. The goal for this design is to be very clean and simple, clean lines, not a lot of different things going on. I guess more of a flat design. So that's kind of the goal. So let's try bold and see how that works. So I'm kind of liking that already. So let's also do a all caps for plumbing. And I'm just going to take my eyedropper tool, I'm going to sample that Open Sans and see if I can't make these flush with each other. And we need to create a little bit of difference between the two. So we can either make this thicker to stand out more and make this thinner, a thinner weight. So let's do a regular, but also let's increase the spacing between the characters. Let's do that. Let's go to character. I think this also looks nice. Let's make the tracking a little bigger, more dramatic. I love to do this. This always looks really nice. Make that smaller. I might need to increase the thickness just a tad. And I could probably even make this more dramatic. I have to manually type in any numbers past 200. So I just typed in 500. So a good little start. It looks a lot better than this. So we're getting there. So let's slide that to the top. Let's copy and paste and work on some concepts here. This is the fun part of logo design because we get to try out a lot of different concepts, keeping in mind that we want to have this be a clean, flat design for a very simple local company. So if we keep that in mind, it's nothing super flashy or complicated. Let's do something simple. I think there's two P's here. There's Pike and Plumbing. So let's play around with that P. I'm going to isolate the P. I'm just copying the P and pasting it on its own layer. Let's slide this out, make this much bigger. And let's see what I can do here with the P. So let's make it a skinnier weight. That's too thick. So instead of extra bold, let's do bold. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and right click. So this is a live text. I just need to create outlines. So I'm just going to right click, create outlines. So now I can edit all the vector anchors and points. So I think I have an idea. I want to do something with plumbing. So let's make this a gigantic pipe that comes around. So I want to maybe cut a little bit of a white area here so I can put like the end cap of the pipe. So there's a couple ways we can do that. Let me get the rectangle tool. Let me, not too much spacing, just a little bit. I'm going to make that a different color. If you took my graphic design masterclass, I go over the shape builder tool in detail. But let's try the shape builder tool this time. So now that I've outlined the stroke, I have editability here. So let me do the hold down Option or the Alt key if you're in Windows, and I'm just going to slice that off, and slice that off. So now I have a nice empty space there. And that was just using the Shape Builder tool. If you have Adobe Illustrator CS6 or before that, prior, maybe an older version, you may not have the Shape Builder tool available. You can always use the Pathfinder tool and do the same thing we did, but highlight the different objects and do some excluding, or do play around with your Pathfinder panel. Okay, so that looks pretty neat. Let's add an end cap. Let's do a rounded rectangle tool and do the end cap for our pipe. And I don't like the curves being so dramatic, so just go up to shape, and I'm going to reduce. I'm going to link them all so I can edit them all at the same time. And let's reduce it so there's just a very subtle. And I think I have this set to points as opposed to inches, because points is a more universal measurement as opposed to inches, which would only be in the United States. So let's reduce that. 0.0, let's try 0.01. Maybe a little bit more, maybe 0.03 all around. Getting there. I think I have this set to a different, I want this to be rounded, so just making sure all those are rounded. There we go, perfect. A little bit more, I'm just tweaking. Perfect, so there's our little pipe end cap. You could tell it's a pipe. Let's bring it down just a little bit so it doesn't come out too much. So let's zoom out. I always love to zoom out, and I'm just going to do a little quick zoom out shortcut. I'm going to hold down the command. I'm on the Mac. I'm going to hold down the command and do the plus sign, which is near your delete key. And I'm going to do the subtraction sign. So I'll just go ahead and show the shortcut on there so you can zoom in and out without having to go down here. Just a little, those little shortcuts are so awesome to learn. Okay, so let's zoom out. I think if I zoom it out all the way, does that still look like a pipe? It does right about here, but not here. And there's a very good chance the logo is going to be this small in some cases. So let's make this little end cap a little bigger. So it's always good to do a visibility test with your logos to make sure it looks good small. It's going to be that small in several cases, especially on social media. Little small profile photos, it will be that small. So I think since we have some nice rounded caps here, I'd love to do a rounded cap here. So let's do that. So I'm going to use my little shortcut and zoom in. So I'm going to hold Command plus. Zoom in on this one. So I want to make this a nice rounded corner to go with our rounded theme. So when I zoom in, let me zoom in even more so you can kind of see what I have here. You see this little area right here. If we modify that, we take this, see this little curve symbol? I'm just going to drag it in. I can kind of create the curves I want to create. So you notice how it created a curve there as well. So let's zoom out and see what that looks like. That's perfect. Doesn't that look a lot better? So now it kind of has a theme. I'm going to make this a little bit shorter of a pipe. I think that's starting to look pretty good. That really looks like a pipe. Let me go back and see if I can't edit these corners a little more. Okay. You can always copy and paste and do it again with another one just to kind of compare. So let's do that.